Makes you wanna go. Na 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 na. Makes you wanna go.
Hey, Mickey G, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you, Golden Bronze?
I'm fantabulous. That's two words put together. Fantastic and fabulous.
Double
Oh,
whammy.
yeah, it's a beautiful day, and we're all blessed to wake up another day around the sun. So I'm feeling good. All right, so I want to welcome everybody to Gab with Golden Bronze. We appreciate your coming by to see us today. We realize you could have checked in on anybody, but you decided to see what we're gabbing about today. So we hope that you enjoy today's show. Gab with Goldn Bronze is a sponsor of Golden Swan Cadre, which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that advocates against domestic violence towards women. But we also advocate for women's health issues, including women's mental health, maternity health, self-care, and mindfulness, and mental health. So we hope that you would check out our website, www.goldenswancadre.com, and donate to us if you feel like our cause is worthy. We'd appreciate it very much. Anything from $1 on up, all dollars add up. And so we're appreciative of that. So today we're going to talk about losing a very close friend, losing a lifelong friend. Something that's very dear and near to my heart because it feels like losing a part of your own history. It's not just the person who is gone, it's the shared experiences, the memories, the inside jokes, and the comforting familiarity, that no one else can fully understand, that relationship that you have developed over the years. This kind of friendship is built over years and years through the moments, big and small, good and bad, celebrating each other's highs, comforting each other during the lows, and being there in quiet, ordinary days in between. When a lifelong friend is lost, there is a deep personal grief. It's like a thread in the tapestry of your own life has been pulled out, leaving an empty space that can't easily be filled by just anyone. You find yourself reminiscing more often, grasping onto the details of your shared past experiences, because those moments are now a treasure trove of memories you can never, ever, ever recreate. Excuse me. What makes it harder is knowing that no one else will ever know you in quite the same way as that lifelong friend. That friend understood your stories, your quirks, and the way you've changed over the years. Losing them feels like losing a witness in your life. Someone you could always see someone that could always see you very clearly when no one else could, through the lens of time itself. It's not just the immediate absence that hurts, but the realization that future memories will be made without them. There's also an indescribable sense of loneliness that comes from with that loss of that friend. Even if you have other friends and loved ones, which we all do, the unique bond you shared with that person leaves you a specific kind of void in your life. Let's just be real. It does. Time may soften the pain. You know, there's this old saying, time heals all old wounds. That's what my mother used to say. Time heals all wounds. There's a certain beauty because it speaks to the depth of love, history, and connection that lifelong friends give us. Time does soften the pain, but it's very sad when you lose that friend just the same. In losing a lifelong friend, you always learn how precious those bonds are and were. How rare it is to find someone who travels with you through so many phases of your life. Their memory becomes a part of who you are, a quiet presence that you carry forward. And even though they are no longer there, the memories still are. Now, I wanted this to be a topic. It was just one of the many topics that we talked about. And I'm going to speak for myself because I had a friend from 11 years old until now. I'm not going to date myself, but we went through decades of friendships. And that friendship ended over something very frivolous, very, very frivolous. And I won't go into details of that either, but it was something that I was trying to convince my friend that she should do. That was the right thing to do. And at the time, it flipped on me somehow that I was to blame for her problems, which I wasn't. I didn't put my hand in the cookie jar. I was trying to get her to get her hand out of the cookie jar and be more ethical about the situation that we were dealing with that caused our friendship to end. And for me, I went through 2 years of grief because this person had been in my life for decades: marriage, divorce, children, childhood things, college memories, the highs and the lows, as I mentioned. And this frivolous thing involved a man, not some man that I was interested in. It was a mutual friend. And I'm thinking, I cannot believe our friendship ended. This person just entered in her life, but had been in mine since childhood, was just as dear a friend to me as she was. You understand what I'm saying? So they were
Right.
equally good friends in my life. And so someone that she wasn't as familiar with as I was, but the friendship ended over a situation that occurred that involved him, and he died. And I was just trying to get her to do something. And so I talked to every friend that I had that knew and old about the separation of that friendship, because that's how close her friendship was to me. And I'll finish when we. Thank you for rejoining us. So as I was saying, it was traumatic for me, kind of like a divorce. And, I'm like, man, I never thought that losing a friend was that traumatic, but it's someone that I grew up with, understand, from elementary school all the way through adult life. And wherever I was, she was. That's how close we were. And we would just laugh about stupid stuff into the wee hours of the morning. You know how friends are, that sisterhood kind of thing that we talked about one day. And so it was traumatic. And so all my new friends had to hear me cry and complain about that. It took 2 years, and it took something my mother said to me, because I waited for 2 years for an apology that I never received and probably never will get to this day. You've heard that old saying, sometimes you can wait for an apology that you'll never receive. That was the
Right.
situation. And I just left it thinking that, oh, eventually I'll get a phone call, so let's talk about it. Eventually, it never happened. And I think there was a third person involved in it that had something to do with it that never admitted that they did. It was like the facilitator of the misunderstanding, that also heard me cry about the loss of the friendship, whine, and I would talk to anybody about it. They would talk to me about it because I think that was therapeutic for me, right?
Right.
But I think that third person involved, I kind of in my gut felt like that person had something to do with the misunderstanding, the facilitating of the separation, because they talked about her to me in a very negative way, retrospectively, right? While I'm crying over the just forget about her. She's blah, 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 blah. And that person that I'm talking about was the one that came and told me something in the get-go. So there's a saying, the dog that carries a bone takes one with them. I think that person was the dog that carried the bone to me, that took something away that maybe was not true to her. and we never had a chance to talk about it, to compare those bones, right? And exactly what
Mhm.
happened. So lasting friendships can be traumatic when you lose them like that. You can accept it better if that person goes on to heaven or whatever. But when a friendship like that over 30 plus years, 40 years breaks up, um, it's like a death, a slow death. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah, that's a lot. And that's very heartbreaking to have a loss like that didn't really have to be. In your
mhm.
mind, you're probably thinking that didn't have to happen. It was just, if it wasn't for that one thing, we'd probably still be friends. And
Exactly.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think you had the involvement of somebody else, somebody's hand in the cookie jar. Yes,
yeah,
a lot of people are jealous of you when you have long-lasting friendships with someone, and they're always so eager to say, "Do you know what this person said?" Do you, you know? But
right,
in my situation, let me just clear. Someone called me and told me they knew she had done something, and that they were going to hire an attorney, and
mhm,
not to let her know. For me, not to let her know. And that person is somebody I knew for just as many years, also. So all of us knew each other for all of our lives growing up. I had a loyalty to my friend that I'm like, it's no way I'm not going to let her know that they know. Because what they were accusing her of was true and factual. Okay. She had
mhm,
done it. And I wanted to let her know they know that you did this. And they said for me not to tell you, but they're going to hire an attorney. So I'm breaking their confidence because you're my friend. And I
right,
want you to know this is coming. And she blamed me for it. When I didn't have anything to do with either her putting her hand in the cookie jar or them telling me they knew she had done it. Had nothing to do with neither one of them. I was just trying to
right,
get her heads up. And I caught the brunt of it all. Whatever the frustration was she was feeling was taken out on me. And I didn't appreciate it. So I just backed up
mhm,
completely.
yeah. Stuck in the middle, right? Stuck in the
Yeah.
middle of a situation that you weren't responsible for either thing. You're
Either
just
thing.
you're trying to be a friend, and it's kind of like when they draw in quarter. They say you pull this way, this way, this way, this way, and before it's all over, you're destroyed because you've been pulled apart so many different ways.
Yeah.
In that situation that you had nothing to do with that.
The way that I got over it is, I would talk to my mother about it and everybody, my new friends, my old friends, my frenemies and enemies, right? Because
Mhm.
that's how
Right.
important she was in my life. And my mom said to me, look at it this way. You've just come to the fork in the road, like a divorce. You
Right.
can be very much in love with your husband, and then you go this way, you grow apart. And the
Right.
light bulb went on. I was okay to accept it after my
Right.
mother said, you just came to the fork in the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can certainly relate to that because you grow, and sometimes you grow apart. I've lost several that I considered friends over the last few years. I think past since my divorce and separation. I remember one that I've known since I was 5. I asked them,
Wow.
I asked them not to talk to that person because that person was the one who victimized me. And they said, I know you said don't talk to them, but I just got to call the brother. I got to call the brother. I said, okay. And I never spoke with them again. They never called me. I never called them. And whatever he filled his head with, he filled the other friend's head with, kept him from coming back as someone I considered a friend. But in a lot of cases, I was probably more a friend than the people I considered friends. How
Mhm.
you can pour into someone, and then there's some underlying current. And I think I lost a lot of them because of that relationship, some went to him, some stayed with me, but these were originally my friends that I grew up with. They didn't know him growing up. They know me. And they went that way. So I said, okay, we'll chalk that up to what that is.
And more
And
traumatic, Nikki. That's
pardon
even
me?
more traumatic. That's
Yeah,
even more traumatic when it's your friend and not that person's friend
exact,
beforehand.
exactly.
Mhm.
And I just felt some weird, smarmy stuff going on. So I just, you know, I just had to chop it up. But
We'll be right back. Okay,
so,
now that we're back, go ahead and say what you were saying. You can go ahead and finish.
okay, what I was saying was some I thought we were friends and we were strong, but then I started to notice some little things that were disrespectful that they were doing. And they were not holding up their end of the friendship. And so I just chalked it up to perhaps I was more invested than they were because I haven't even been called to see, so what's wrong? Why? What happened with us? So they're comfortable, so therefore I'm comfortable because we have grown apart, apparently. So you do grieve because for me, I suffered several losses in the loss of my relationship, the loss of my friends, the loss of life as I knew it. So that was a heavy grieving season for me, for people who I was used to relying on, that I can confide in. And then they were gone. And so I was left to kind of deal with it on my own. So, yeah, that does hurt initially, but then, you get through it.
So your situation sounds somewhat um, similar because you waited for them to come back and talk about it, and it never happened. That's kind of like I said. I waited 2 years to get a phone call, a text message, an email, or something, and never received it. And so, I finally just said, "Okay, my mother is right. We have come to the fork in the road." You know,
Right.
the day that you allow someone to just disrespect you, and it continues. And I just was not going to be the first one to make that call because that's kind of what happened. I was totally cursed at and a lot of other things for just trying to give someone a heads up. They said they're going to hire an attorney. They told me not to tell you, but you're my friend. So I
Right.
want you to know this is coming.
Right.
And so I thought, well, why would I apologize?
Mhm.
Everybody's so used to me being the first one to say, hey, let's talk. I miss you. I want to
Yeah.
hear that sometimes.
Yeah. 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 I've done that very
I
same thing.
digress.
Well, I did that very same thing when we had a breach before. I reached out and then they iced me. And so this time, I just realized the handwriting was on the wall. And so I don't hate any of them. I don't hate any of them. Thank you for the time in the life that we spent. And now, the fork has come and I'm going my direction and God bless you. And that's really the way I feel about it. Um, I had one come on online and said some things to me. She said, you're always putting things on Facebook. You always, I thought, why are you bothered about that? I thought she was joking at first, but apparently she wasn't. So this is someone I've known since I was 4. So they all kind of went
Wow.
haywire. Yeah, they all kind of went a little
So we're
haywire. I
talking
don't
about
know.
more than
Oh,
one person did this to you, right?
yes,
Okay.
yes, yes, yeah. So,
Yeah, that's
it
unfortunate.
is what it
I'm
is.
talking about my best friend, child. I thought she was my best friend in life. I guess I was hers.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
yeah. But you live and you grow, and sometimes there's a fork, and that's okay. Because in your mind, you didn't do anything to them. If there was something that you did to them to harm them, then they should let you know. But I can't. I search
Yeah.
myself in each of these situations. and I did not do anything egregious to them that I'm aware of. So it's just people grow apart, people grow up, and people grow out. So it is what it is. We move on.
Well, that's the very thing that got me through is when I guess my mother might have been sick and tired of me whining. She might have been sick and tired of me whining about losing my best friend because
Yeah.
she's just like, Karen, you were her friend indeed. And
Yeah.
sometimes we go through life not knowing that we might be their friend. They're not necessarily our friend, right?
That
And you
part.
have just simply come to, and it was like mothers are good for something, people, because the light bulb went off. I know I say things to my daughters, and they're like, "Oh yeah, light bulb moment," and it's
Yeah.
that wisdom. And so,
Yeah.
it was just like I was telling another friend. It wasn't until my mother said it's like it can be like a divorce. You can be married to somebody 30 years, and all of a sudden you separate and go different directions, and you wonder, how does that happen? She said a friendship is the same way. And I was like, I accept that. And I
Yeah.
was good from then on. I just thought it was a topic that we would enlighten other people about because we are not the only two people in this world that have gone through life where we have spent our whole life being friends to people and all of a sudden it's over. And you're wondering what happened. I didn't see it coming. And
Mm-mm.
it's just
Mm-mm.
separation of going. Our journeys are now going different directions,
Right. Right.
so.
Right. Right. Yeah. It could be a blind side. However, I will say this real quick that some people told me in the beginning of this separation that I was having in my relationship that a lot of people would betray me and leave me. And the people that I knew it wouldn't be those people. And those are some of the very people that did that. And so I was surprised, but I wasn't surprised because I got a heads up. Somehow people who just kind of, I guess, spiritually knew that something like that would happen. So I was shocked that it was them, but I wasn't shocked that it happened. So I just accepted, okay,
Did
that's
they
life.
say who the friends were that would be leaving, or did they just say
No,
some friends? Okay.
no, they didn't even know the people. They just said some of these people that you trust the most are going to leave you and they're going to betray you. People that you would not even suspect. And that's exactly what happened. But they didn't even know these people. So lots of people did that. It was a body slam. But I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. That's what I'm saying. And that was the light bulb moment for
Yeah.
me. I'm like, it makes perfect sense. If a man and woman can spend their whole life together, have children, families, and raise them, and then their paths go like that, what makes me think a friendship won't do the same?
It very
So
well can. It very well can,
yeah.
indeed. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I
so
don't know
that's
about that kind of
interesting. So
stuff.
maybe we have somebody else out there and realize that that's part of life and it happens. And we will be right back. Okay, so I hope that enlightens somebody to let them know if they're at home feeling bad because of a loss of a friendship of someone that is still walking this earth, that is just something that could happen. It's not normal, but it's life. Um, at least if they transition on to heaven, they're in a safe space, and that was something that was out of everybody's control. But when it happens this way, it is traumatic for the people that love that person as a friend. So we're going to talk now about reinventing yourselves, and this is a fun topic. Reinventing yourself is the process of embracing change and growth to transform your identity and yourself, or whatever it is you're doing, your mindset or life direction, which both of us have done. It involves stepping out of your comfort zone, letting go of old habits, and adopting new skills, perspectives, and goals. Whether driven by personal or professional reasons, reinvention allows you to redefine who you are, discover new passions and interests, and adapt to evolving circumstances. It's about continuous self improvement, resilience, and the courage to pursue a better version of yourself, even when the path is uncertain. And I thought, that's exactly how I feel. I left my nursing job right after COVID. I actually got COVID and almost checked out of here with a whole lot of people, but I was resilient enough to fight and get well. And I said, you know what? I'm going to leave this nursing job as soon as I get healthy. Like, I didn't want to leave as soon as I got well because of the medical benefits. I wanted to make sure of, good endurance and all of that. And then I got it again 9 months after having it the first time. So I'm like, okay, let me bounce back from this altogether. And when I do, I am leaving this nursing job and I'm going to step out on faith and do some things that I have always wanted to do. And here I am, Gab with Goldn Bronze on television, a whole new career path that I never saw coming. I love it. It is so much fun. I love just being here with you every day. I love meeting all the cool different people that I get to meet to talk about all the cool different topics that we get to talk about. I love the educating of the populace out there. All of the perks that come along with this job, I'm in love with. So I thought this would be a perfect time. Not only that, the Gab with Goldn Bronze sponsors a very worthy nonprofit called Golden Swan Cadre. So not only is it fun and entertaining for me, you, and our guests, it may possibly be a benefit to that nonprofit. So yeah, I thought that would be a cool topic to discuss. What are your thoughts about that?
Oh my goodness. I was sitting here when you were talking about it and thinking about all the different phases of me. But I will start with the beginning is that I was a shy person. I didn't like to speak in front of people. And I was teaching in a private school. And my boss said, "You're going to MC the program." I thought, no, 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 I can't do that. She said, "Well, listen, that microphone's going to be empty. There's no one going to be standing there if you don't go up there and do it." And she gave me some fillers to talk. And I did it. But now I'm here. I was afraid to talk to people, but with evolution, I got to this place. I'm speaking to all of you. This is wonderful. A different part of me.
Well, let's talk about that. I'm the one that's afraid of public speaking. That's why you're here. Because I reached out to you and said, hey, Nikki, I need people to talk about domestic violence and women's health and mental health and self-care. I just want to work in the background. I'm scared to be pushed out front. And so you didn't seem like you were afraid to speak at all, And so I thought, let me reach out to her and have her come and speak, be a public speaker, a motivational speaker for Golden Swan Cadre. And then you were impressed me so much. I said, hey, would you like to be my co-host? That's how you got here. You didn't seem shy at all to me. You seemed like somebody that could just face the world. And I admired that. I thought, I wish I could do that. You didn't seem nervous at all, at all.
No, I wasn't. Thank you for that. But listen, you said you were afraid to speak in front of people. You did it effortlessly. I said, listen here. You're saying that you're shy. You dynamo, you can speak in front of people. And now we're here, right?
We're both here, right? Because I remember you saying that to me. You're like, you didn't seem like you were nervous. And I was shaking in my shoes. You said you didn't come across as being nervous at all. And I remember saying to you, I don't even remember what I said. You remember me saying that to you? I was just talking. I was telling you, so here we are both together doing the same thing. I think you have more years of experience with it than I do, though. So, because I think that's what you did in another group or something you told me about, right?
Yeah. It was quite a road. At one point we had ministry at our church where we had cell groups, and we also had something that people commonly call retreats, but we call them encounters. And we hosted women, and I was asked to teach at these encounters. There may be 100 women, etc. there. And I did it. And then I went into ministry class, ministry training. I did that. I had to write a sermon and speak it. And so the more I did it, the more comfortable I became. And so that's kind of how that started. It just was a matter of practice. Just like you, Golden Bronze, you're knocking it out of the
Well,
park. You say you're shy. I tend not to believe it.
believe it, trust me. Trust me,
Yeah,
believe it.
but yeah,
Yeah. So anyway, I'm glad we both have kind of gotten over the apprehension, let's call it that, and not
yeah,
so much fear, but
yeah.
apprehension of public speaking. And
Right.
it's something that we'll all get better at as time goes along. We'll get
Yes,
better at it.
yes, yes, yes.
So
Yeah, it gets easier as you do it. And it's fun. Like you said, this is fun. This is fun for us to come before our audience and talk with them, and gab with Golden Bronze. I'm having a great time. And thanks for inviting me to be on the stage with you. I appreciate it.
absolutely. I'm trying to figure out a way. I was thinking today of having some audience involvement, but we'll talk about that when we come right
Okay.
back. All right. Thank you for returning. Um, I'm trying to think. This is a lot of fun, as you mentioned, and I put my little thinking cap on today, and I'll ask you to do the same. But I was trying to figure out a way that we could kind of engage with our listeners, like the people on television that watch us. Maybe we can have them email some suggestions to us of things maybe we can talk about, or somebody would like to come on our show and be interviewed. They have something really neat and funny, maybe. We're all about random topics. We also do broach domestic violence and all our initiatives because we do things in the community for domestic violence, women and maternity health, women's mental health, self-care, mindfulness. We're out in the community engaging with our community partners, doing things like that, donations to entities like that, and to women of domestic violence. We try to help them with whatever it is they need as well. But we would love for, if anybody out there maybe, and this is just something I'm going to test to see if it works, has something fun they would like to come on our show, maybe we'll have a day of just engaging with the audience, and we can bring them on one at a time and talk about whatever it is they want to talk about, or maybe they want to share something funny with us. Does that sound like a great idea to you, Mickey G?
That sounds very creative. I would love to engage with the audience and see what some of their ideas, things they want us to talk about.
That too, but I would also like to bring them on, if they want to come on and just have a day with Goldn Bronze and Mickey G, a fun day.
Yeah.
Let's do whatever it is random for 45 minutes. And if you'd like to do that and you're listening to us, you could email the Golden Swan Cadre at gmail.com. And if you look at the banner running below, it will tell you how to spell Golden Swan Cadre. It's all lowercase, and it is the Golden Swan Cadre at gmail.com. Email us and let's see if we can have audience participation one day. That'd be very, very fun. I'm
Yeah,
looking forward to it.
would be fun. Great idea, Gab. That's why you Gab with that's why you Golden Bronze. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Okay, well, I'm going to ask Mickey G to have final comments about anything she would like to comment about, and then close us out.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you for that, Golden Bronze. Well, I was thinking about the different phases of us. We're not in our 30s anymore, although we might look it, but we're not in our 30s anymore. And we've been reinvented. We've reinvented ourselves several times. We didn't tell you all the details. That might come on a different show. But this is also to encourage our viewers who are maybe stuck in a stage of life and they may say, I'm too old to start again. I'm too this, I'm too that. I don't have the education, what have you. But if we can do it, you can certainly do it. I've transformed my life several times, and so has Goldn Bronze. And here we are at this stage of life. And so we're excited about this opportunity to be before you. So we want to inspire you. Try something new. If you want to skydive, skydive. If you want to deep sea dive, which I won't be doing, deep sea dive, try something new, try a new career. This is a whole new career for both of us. Her background is in nursing. And for several years, I was a homemaker, but I have other things. Yes.
I said one of them.
Yes, one of them. And that's one of her jobs. And I've had a few before this, but I never ever thought this is what I would be doing. So it's just a blessing. So anyone that wants to just try something new, I encourage you, try something new. Only thing you can do is realize that it's not for you and move on to the next thing. Don't die in your chair thinking about maybe one of these days. Today is the day. So try something new. So thank you so much.
I co-sign that. And I'll say, as Steve Harvey always said, jump. Just jump into it. And don't say, this is not for me. Say, just make it different. It could be for you. You just need to tweak it and perfect it like we're doing, So jump, because tomorrow's not promised. Like she said, don't wait until tomorrow, what you can do today. Yes, sir. Okay. I'm going to have my co-host take us on out of here.
Okay. All right. Well, we'd like to thank you again for joining us at Gab with Goldn Bronze. It's been our pleasure to be here with you. You could have been doing anything, but you decided to take time and spend with us. So I want to let you know, you may now see Gab with Goldn Bronze on DuPont TV Network, brought to you by Village Global Network TV. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12 noon Central Standard Time, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, and 10 a.m. Pacific Time. We're so excited about this. So be sure to tune in and we'll see you there. Now for some business. So Gab with Goldn Bronze sponsors Golden Swan Cadre, which Goldn Bronze has mentioned before. So I'm going to share with you how you can donate to Golden Swan Cadre. So on Chime, you enter $ Golden Swan Cadre. The G, the S, and the C are all uppercase. That's easy to find us if you put it in that way. PayPal, you can find us at thegoldenswancadre@gmail.com. Our website, www.goldenswancadre.com. Now on social media, you can find us on Instagram. You visit the charity section and find the official _ Golden Swan Cadre. Facebook, the same thing. Visit the charity section and find Golden Swan Cadre. Join us in making a positive impact today, helping many women, and we appreciate your donations from $1 to whatever your heart and your pocket will take you. We appreciate every donation. Thank you.
Yes, we do. And we appreciate your watching Gab with Goldn Bronze today, and welcome you to come back tomorrow and see what we're gabbing about then. Thank you. Peace out.
Bye.